Hello, and it is Saturday, and it is scorching hot, and I am in the greenhouse. I have been watering for most of the day, mostly outside, uh, and I've got probably 3/4 of it done outside. I've finished with mostly everything in the cage. Yay! And I've watered everything except for this wall of Phalaenopsis. And people have been asking me how I care for my Phalaenopsis, and I think the way that I water them has a lot to do with it. Hey, Nina. But I think that has a lot to do with stay so healthy so quickly with the roots. I think it's the way that I water them. Hey, Shallow. That's just my opinion. Uh, some of them, well, that one has been repotted, but some of them are still in their original plastic containers, like this one. Well, I just got this one, and this is a species, another one that was on my list, Philippines, which was a replacement. But people have been asking me about that, and I think the way that I water them all has a lot to do with the health of recently of my Phalaenopsis. I mean, that green is amazing, amazing, amazing. Hey, Yoshi, is Yoshi in the house? I did not see. I am trying not to trip over too much stuff down here. Well, I still managed to trip. But I am trying to get some of this out of here. Some of these Cattleyas, this one can go out now. It's got new growth starting down here. That's my Guatemalensis. And I might take this outside. This is my Stephanie Takasaki. That is in semi-hydro. I have another one out there that has a nice growth on it. No spikes, no sheaths, I should say. I can't talk. But this has been developing quite rapidly. This is my Elro, Erangus Elro. And they go all the way down to the tip. So hopefully you can see that cute little spur there. That's been sitting in there in the water. These I just watered them for the first time today, and today it is about 90. It's about 100-degree heat index outside. Let me see what this says. $90 something. And that's why I have the windows open, and I've got a fan. Anyway, this is my Johnsonii, and you can see there's another growth down there. And there's another one right there. Well, that's the growth we just looked at. But right. Anyway, YouTube is, I don't know. This is my cross that was in a basket, and it had bloomed. And I took it out of the basket because those leaves were really looking horrible. And I've mounted it on this, so I am going to leave it on this. That is going to stay right there. Hello, everyone. And one thing that I did decide to do with this Canaliculium is that it is still basically inside the little not inorganic, it's an organic pot, that little thing, a little seedling pot that disintegrates. I pulled some of it down to where the bottom of the bulb is showing and put it in this. and it's got rocks stuck in there. You can see the rocks holding it in on the sides, and that's what I'm going to do with that Canaliculium. It has a lot of roots going on in there and new growths. I just don't want to disturb it so much, and I'm going to leave it in here for now, just to be safe. So that's kind of good that I dealt with that. This is something else. This just bloomed for me, and this was another growth, and you can see there's a sheath right. So yay. But I want to water a couple of my Phalaenopsis just for the heck of it. Let me hang these up. Hopefully everybody's having a good day. It is scorching hot. I will not be out here long. Trust me on that. And the way that I mounted this, if I didn't say, it's just held by one of those cords, a zip cord. Sort of gently tied just to hold it down on top of that sphagnum. And there it goes. So I'm gonna lift this up and out of here, and I'm gonna take the water. And don't do this, guys, I share my water, so as you all know, so I always have to start off by saying that, because I've been doing it for years and haven't had any issues, so I'm just going to leave it at that. You all know what I do. But the way that I water pretty much is, this is my Schilleriana, and well, no, you can you can use fresh water however you want to do it. I will just use the water that I've been using throughout. I've changed it once since I brought it in when I got to this. Anyway, I don't really need to explain that. But I cup it like this, and because some of it is gonna float up. And I do this perhaps 4 or 5 times, just so that it's anyway, this is so crazy. YouTube is really crazy. But yeah, so I just hang it back up there, and I was saying that don't worry about the leaves, because that's just really giving them foliar. And I'll show you what I give them if you don't know yet. And so, like I said, I cup it in my hand, and I just lightly dunk it, turning it around, continuing to do it like that. And that is how I water. And I fertilize them once a week, although they may get another light fertilizing during the week, because I tend to keep a bucket here, but it's refreshed. It's not just sitting. But anywho, because it's been so hot here, and because they are in high light, but they do have fans here, as I've said, and depending on the temperature, and there's another fan over there, I water probably twice a week as a minimum during the summer. As a minimum, I water twice a week. And this is my Corner Cervi. Same deal. You all remember this plant that I complained about to Norman's. Yeah, this is the feed right here. I water weekly. During the week. It's just a light feed. It might just have rainwater with a little bit of kelp in it. Not feed as in my. But that is looking so much better, isn't it? since I chopped off the bottom part of the plant and rooted, I don't see any new roots, but so far it's not. Looks okay. Looks like it's gonna make it. So yeah, let me do this one. This is a recovery covering plant. This is one that I got from that haul at Hauserman. It was probably when yeah, it's the haul that I'm gonna do a. And see, mine are in sphagnum moss. That's one thing you have to remember. I have a lot of air movement here, so they're constant. They're getting dry fairly rapidly. I wrap their roots in sphagnum. Once I get them out of those little plastic pots, get all the moss off of them, and then I wrap more fresh moss right around those roots, and then stick them inside of the pot that's got bark around the edge, and then I stick the sphagnum inside of that, and then cover it with bark. That's how I do it. I don't put bark on the top per se. Not bark. I don't put the sphagnum on top. The sphagnum is primarily just inside of the pot around the roots. If that makes any sense. But this was almost dead. You can see the main plant was, I guess, where that big leaf is that's hanging down here, and then it's put up these two. So I think it's recovered. But yeah, it's the same thing. I can make sure they get a very good soaking. That's with all of my plants, not just my Phalaenopsis. All of my plants. That's why doing this all by hand, it takes time. But these days I am getting it all done in one day, believe it or not, inside and outside. Like I said, all I have to do is the outside of the cage outside, and I'm down there in here. So all I have is what's on that table and these Phalaenopsis that I'm doing right here. So, I mean, that's pretty good for only 6 o'clock. And, it's 100 degrees out here basically. So for 520 orchids, I would say that that's not so bad. And that's what I do on the weekend. During the week, it's just one here and one there. I don't do them all. I put in the mix, and if it's dry to the touch, then they'll get a watering. It depends on the heat. Yes, I have about 520. So yeah, that's that. I'm gonna water this one, and then maybe I'll go outside for a minute. I'm actually not sweating as bad as what I thought. This is my Marii, and I haven't had this. I got this late winter, and this is the one that had a spike on it. The spike blasted, but it has since put out that root, and I think there might be another root, but this is a new leaf that's right over there. And you can see it's just in sphagnum. And there's the bark. And this is what I do every week. But yeah, I water all of my plants that are still in pots. I think that deep water, that deep soaking gets them and maintains them, and it gets that fertilizer deep to deep into their system rather than just a flushing. So I've always, and plus I get my hands on the plants and I can look at them and see what's going on, and the plant tells you what it really needs, if it's happy or not. I'm sure everybody in here knows that. I'm not saying anything you guys don't know. So yeah, I am sharing my water. And I do have 500 orchids. I don't dunk all of these. Well, no, yes, I do. I dunk them all. My mounts I just throw in and let them soak. So that's why I'm really trying to convert a lot of mine to mounts, because it's just so much easier. I can stick them in here and just walk away from them. And I still think that is just beauty. I do, because I'm gonna get clocked on them anyway, so I might as well, you know, own up to, you know, my shortcuts that happen to so far in 20 some years of growing orchids have worked out fine. So, I've contemplated going the whole route as far as RO water. No way. If I can't have rainwater, then they'll have the hose if I can't hold out till I get rainwater. It's if they suffer because of it, then they are not supposed to be in my collection. That's my feeling. So I try as hard as I can to ones that are more tender that I know of, which none of these Phalaenopsis are. Well, yeah, you gotta admit when it fails. I mean, I have those. That's the only, and that is struggling over there. I moved my uh, my pescatorias, my beloved pescatorias. I moved them inside on a day when it was 90 degrees, and these are, you can see that big fat root in there. It's still doing really good. I mean, these are all, and there's another new root. I haven't had these too long, as you all know, and yeah, there's no way, even if I were having, using RO water, there's no way when you have to do it every day when it's outside, you can't spray them. I mean, I don't think anyone can hook up their hose to RO unless you're a big company. I don't know, not for 500 orchids. But yeah, that's just how I do it, guys. Pretty easy. And I'm just gonna put this one in here and let this one soak. This is my Bastianii, which is doing great. It's got that new leaf coming out. This little Kiki's got roots on it. Waiting on that one to bloom, so I really know that it's doing as good as I want it to do. Loving this fat growth on my volcano trick. And yeah, nothing really. I still have to water those down there, but that's not anything. That'll take me 10 minutes. I did find this, if you can see that sheath right there. I think I've already shown you that. That's my that's a Brassavola petite stars. So maybe if that blooms, I'll be able to compare it to the other one that's outside that is supposed to be the same cross. The Richard Mueller crossed with Aria. And this is that Encyclia. That's my ugly finger that's got from being washing dishes, but that's my Angraecum. Those are little small little bucket flowers, white little buckets. Let me see what's outside for a minute before I sweat completely out. I'm really not happy with I'll point this out. This is my Laelia anceps that I bought it inside before the rain. I guess it's still developing, but I just don't like the fact that that growth is still standing straight up. But these are all flopped over. I hate that. So let's go out here for a second. See what's going on out here. Not really a whole lot, actually. Just lots of growth. This is really doing well for me. Those roots. I've shown this, but I noticed even more nubbins happening at the base there. I mean, I suppose I'll take a root, but there's plenty of roots there. I don't know if I've shown this. I know I did a video of this. It was on my Orchid a Day. This is my Schornorchis junkifolia. And you can see it's got those new growths coming out of it. They are loving it. And the heat, they are loving it. They really, really are. They really are. Every single one of them. I am waiting on. Now, you remember, this is the plant that got the mealy bugs off of the spike. And you can see it's put up 2 growths this year with 2 nice spikes. So that should be very pretty. That's my golden sunburst. And this is that other, well, it's gone over now. I was trying to show you that other Richard Mueller, but that's gone over. This is something that I'm really happy about. This is my Dendrobium discolor, and you can see all of those roots. Plus, back here. So that is good. Good, good, good. Hopefully I'll be seeing something with that. I'll just pass my Brassavolas. There's a lot of nice growth, but there's not a lot of, I don't see much of anything in the way of sheaths. Not yet. But my Dendrobium frederixianum looks amazing. And this is actually a special clone, not just a straight species. This is variety Pecret. It is very pretty, and I love the fact that it has bloomed twice this summer, well, spring, summer. Yeah, I noticed, I don't know what that is even from, although I don't know. There are some that are still growing, but like, you remember these. Yeah, and this one has bloomed twice too, my Goldenaya. I mean, you can see this pretty much is like a Dendrobium nobile. This is pretty much how it grows, and so really it should not be blooming this late. But these roots, well, that plant is fine, but like when you look up at this one up here, there are some, I think I see some brown tips, like on this one. You see those are green over there, but then those are brown, that I believe those were all green the last time we looked at this. That's what my impression was. I don't remember seeing any brown root tips. And this one, this one was curled under, and you can see they browned. Now, I remember, you guys know that one. So hopefully, I have no doubt that they'll come back, and that is so fragrant. I have no idea why that is on sale. It's always on sale at orchids.com, Norman's. But that's the second blooming for me. That bloomed in the spring. Well, I bought it in bloom, you guys know. And then it put up that growth and it bloomed immediately. So yeah, it's fragrant as all get out. And there's those flowers on, there's the buds. And actually I can see another set. This is gonna be another, if I can show it, that is another set of buds sit behind it. You can see that's another spike right there. See, these are really nice plants, these Galliandras, because once you get them to flower, they will flower for a long time from the same spike. These are nice plants. And even though this is probably, I can still probably save these, and this will actually be another plant. Both of those will, because it's got enough roots on it. Look at those roots. I could pull it off right now, and look at that one's got a new growth coming off of it. So it is making another plant to replace that. The joy of orchids, I tell you. Amazing plants. Really nothing to show you over here, except this is an example of, the Dendrobium that I've mounted. You've seen that. So yeah, not gonna stay on here so long. I've already been on here a few, but yeah, I'm looking forward to those buds. That's gonna be amazing. So yeah, I've lost some roots too, but for the most part, things are still pretty green. And this is my Parkinsonian Ami. You can see those roots in there, and there's more roots right there. And I'm starting to see new growths coming there. I almost thought that was going to be a spike for me. That peeking out right there. You see that? But I think that's going to be a growth. I cannot hope for a spike. Yeah, that's going to be a new growth. I can already see the tip of it. But yeah, it's coming back. There's another new growth that's in there. Love that. So, yeah, that's about it. For me, my raniferum is still doing so good. Oh yeah, my things talk about rebounding. Look at Kakito Sato. She is killing it. Big fat roots. Now her roots did not stop, and neither did this one, which is I wish mine would bloom like Nina, who has the trifecta, or bloom the trifecta, I should say. This is my Orchid, and it's got these new growths. Well, you should have several divisions, don't you, Sharon? I think, of that big healthy plant of yours, but the roots have come all the way down, and I can see them down through here. You can see that white right through there. That is a new root, but it's got several new growths. My plants always lag behind everybody else's, so I'm hoping that I'll still get something. Anyway, let me hang it up. What am I doing? Where does she go? I always have trouble finding her hook. There she goes. Okay. All right. And this is another plant. This is the plant that I was going to send back. That was the Miss ID. And I tell you, look at that. It is just putting up roots. Look at those roots. How would I be able to tear this off of? I guess I could have just left it on the mound, but why? And there's another growth. And there's another growth over there. I did. And I am going to keep reminding them about the other plant that I want. There's some buds right there. Well, whatever it was the Golden Tang. That's what it is. Another Richard Mueller hybrid. Waiting for those to develop. Yeah. Okay. That's about it for what's going on out here. Although this is one that I did mount. One of the first ones that I mounted on one of Natalia's mounts. And it was that Cattleya that was free. And you can see inside of there's a sheath in there. Maybe you didn't see it. Here, I'll pull it down here. Yeah, there you go. That was a free orchid that I got. No, it wasn't. It was Chocolate Drop. crossed with Patnar Little Toshi. The free orchid is over there somewhere. So yeah, anyway, folks, look at those roots. My bifoliates are doing excellent this year. This is my Aurantiaca. And this is one of my Guatemalensis. And it's got those two new growths that are nice and big. Really, really nice. This is another Aurantiaca. And there's a new growth. There's one over here. Nice, nice, nice. So yeah, folks, I am pleased. Hopefully I will be seeing some blooms soon that I can share with you all. Close this up. Thank you all for joining me today while I show off my orchids and my greenhouse and how I water my Phalaenopsis. Thanks, Sharon. Same to you. Happy growing, everybody. And enjoy your orchids as always. Yes, I will see you guys soon. Have a good weekend. Maybe I'll pop in tomorrow. We'll see. I'm glad to see you too, everybody. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy your orchids. Bye. Thanks.